Joining us now live is Congressman Ted Lieu, who, not incidentally, sits on the House Foreign Affairs Committee, which oversees the State Department. He's also one of these members of Congress who is calling for that FBI investigation. Congressman Lieu, thank you so much for making time. I really appreciate you being here tonight.
Thank you, Rachel.
In the wake of this recent public reporting and these shocking allegations from Ambassador Louis Lukens, you first called for the resignation of Ambassador Johnson, who's still currently in post in London. You've now taken it a step further and said that the FBI should investigate this as potential criminal behavior on his part. Why do you think it rises to the level of what you want to be a criminal investigation here?
Thank you for your question. We know that what Ambassador Johnson did was unethical. What Congresswoman Kathleen Rice and I want to know is, was it also illegal? And in this case, 2 of the 3 elements of solicitation of a bribe have already been met. He is a public official, and he definitely asked for something of value for Donald Trump. And if he said anything in exchange for that, then that would be solicitation of a bribe. That was some sort of official action. And why is this report, this IG report on what he did, even marked classified? Because if all he did was make that request, that would not be classified. What would be classified is if he said something. And that's what makes this thing even more suspicious. That's why we want the FBI to investigate, because he may have said something that he should not have said.
In terms of that State Department paper trail, there has been a sort of remarkable string of reporting. Here's Louis Lukens telling me last night that he conveyed his concerns to Washington. He said he told Washington about the same concerns that he expressed to Ambassador Johnson. We've also got the Associated, he said, his exact words, quote, "I let Washington know, but also kept detailed notes on my own of what was happening at the time." We've also had some remarkable and interesting reporting from the Associated Press that describes multiple State Department officials conveying concerns about this home to Washington, home to State Department headquarters, expressing alarm and concern about these unethical and potentially illegal acts. Should you and your colleagues in the Foreign Relations Committee or anybody else in Congress be able to follow that paper trail if, in fact, all of this stuff was dutifully documented by career officials who witnessed it and who knew it was wrong?
Absolutely. The House Foreign Affairs Committee has already subpoenaed a number of officials. I've interviewed IG Lennox along with other committee members, and it's pretty clear that he had no basis for getting fired. We don't know why Akkad now has suddenly resigned. And this is part of a pattern of corruption that we see in the State Department, not just Ambassador Johnson, but also you have allegations that the U.S. ambassador to Brazil was asking Brazil to basically take action to benefit Donald Trump's re-election. I think Ambassador Johnson should resign. But since he hasn't, I believe the State Department needs to recall him back to the United States for 2 reasons. First of all, Ambassador Lukens on your show confirmed that Ambassador Johnson made that request to British officials to move the British Open to the Trump Terminal Resort. And second, there are multiple allegations that Ambassador Johnson made racist and sexist comments. You can't have these kinds of allegations in a very critical position for U.S. government.
If, in fact, the Inspector General did investigate those comments that you just described from the ambassador and this matter of potentially soliciting a bribe, as you and your colleague puts it in this letter today to the FBI, if the IG has looked into these matters, what's to stop the senior leadership at the State Department from burying that Inspector General report forever? Is there a way that it can be surfaced? Obviously, it seems to require some fresh investigation. It sounds like you and your colleagues are eager to do that. But if the IG has already done on-the-ground investigation of what happened here, how can that report be either brought to the attention of the public or to the oversight committees like the one on which you serve?
Public sentiment matters. That's why shows like yours are so important. Congressional oversight matters. And the committee is absolutely going to ask for this report to be made public. I still think it's awfully suspicious that it's marked classified. Not clear why that would be the case. And we definitely want to see this report. And the State Department owes it to American people to clear the air if nothing happened, or if something bad happened, to issue the report and then have its ships fall where they may.